And what is up, guys? Welcome back to Acceleracers Hub for another video. For today's video, a lot of you guys normally message me pretty frequently or comment asking for price guides on, the Acceleracers trading card game, the carded Acceleracers, loose mint Acceleracers. You guys are pretty interested in like a comprehensive price guide of a lot of the Acceleracers products. And so I decided to start working on those. So today I put together a complete price guide for the Acceleracers trading card game, the 246 card set that we're going to be going through today. So I am starting to work on price guides for carded Acceleracers, loose mint Acceleracers, so on and so forth. But those are requiring a little bit more research and time on my end because I just want to make sure that they're as accurate as possible. Whereas with the card game, I've opened a ton of packs. I pretty much know the values and the rarities of the cards like the back of my hand at this point. But for the carded Acceleracers and loose Acceleracers, I just want to make sure that I'm taking the proper time to give you a good, complete price guide. I don't just want to throw something out there without doing proper research into it. And as many of you guys know, the biggest issue with price guides for this stuff is there is a big difference in the true value and rarity of an item and the price that someone is willing to pay for it. You can have a card that's worth 20 bucks, but if a collector is absolutely hunting for that card, they're willing to pay 40 bucks for it. And that is sort of, I think, how the Acceleracers prices really shot through the roof. It's because there's an influx of new collectors during the pandemic last year, and cards that weren't very expensive were getting snapped up by collectors with a lot of stimulus checks. There was a lot of money moving around, and people were bored. But the problem is that a new seller sees a car sell for 40 bucks that was only worth 20, and then he goes, 40 must be the new minimum. I'm going to sell mine for 50, and then it just goes from there, and the prices just rise up. I totally get it as a seller. You definitely want to get the most bang for your buck. You want to get paid adequately for your items. And a lot of sellers also employ the whole strategy of, if this item sold for 40 bucks last time it was listed, I'm going to list it for 60 bucks and maybe I'll get a best offer of 45 or 50. And, then other people see that item listed for $60 and go, oh, wow, that must be worth $60. I'll list mine for 70 or I'll list mine for 65. And it just sort of snowballs from there. I mean, some cars like Flathead Fury now are being listed close to $300. Like not even a year ago, I sold a Flathead Fury carded for 70 bucks and I was thrilled. I was like, wow, I got a really good price for that. They paid a lot for it. These days, that car's going for almost $300. And that sort of price jump is like absolutely insane. But let me get back on track here. So I did put together a price guide of all 246 Acceleracers cards from the trading card game. And I made it accessible for you guys. So we're gonna look through it in a second. The only thing I wanna say is just like what I was saying with the value of the cards versus the prices that people are willing to pay for them. Make sure you keep that in mind because a lot of these prices are pretty similar to the prices that I do charge on my page, but some are a little more expensive, some are a little less expensive, and that just goes based on how much inventory I have in stock. I mean, if I have a $5 card, but I have 45 copies of it, I'm gonna list it for more like $1 or $2 to try and get rid of it. And on the flip side of that, cards like Synchro, I think in the price guide, I have it listed as a $5 card. Every time I get a Synchro card in stock and I put it in my listing for $10 and it sells within 2 or 3 days. So it's like, it really is only a $5 card in my opinion, but fan favorite card. It's not super hard to get, but if people are willing to pay $10 for it and probably more, then you're gonna list it for 9 or 10 bucks, But just keep that in mind as you look through this price guide. I did put what I believe the true value of the cards is, and sometimes people are willing to pay more, people are willing to pay less.
So this is the Acceleracers TCG price guide that I have put together. I've got it on a Google Doc for you guys. I did it in Excel originally, but I wanted you all to be able to access it. So stuck it into a Google Doc that hopefully you guys will all be able to access. So as you can see, we got the card name, type, the number of the card in the set, the individual prices, and I actually sort of put together a quantity and total value aspect to it so that you guys could actually value your own collections. So going through here, I do have individual prices for all the cards. A lot of them are between $1 and $5, and then some of the rare cards, Flathead Fury, Pile Driver, both $15 cards. You got some foil cards, $20 here, $2.50 for the Torque Jackhammer. Got our Teku vehicles, and here's an example of a card that probably people pay more like $10 for, but the true value of the card is $5. It's not too hard to find a Synchro card if you just buy a Synchro, but I don't think it's worth the full $10. So continuing on here, down through these Teku vehicles, we've got Chicane, Hyper Chicane at 25, Hyper Reverb at 25, and this is just a rough price guide. It's not the end-all, be-all price guide for these cards. It's just what I believe the true fair value of these cards is. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. So we've got our shifts and our starter deck exclusive vehicles down here. And the only discrepancy here is that Flathead Fury 2 I have is a $4 card versus the other one, as the other ones are all $3 cards. But Flathead Fury 2 is a very popular card. It's very overpowered for the card game as well because you can use 2 different mod icons on it. And some of the cards, believe it or not, that are more playable in the card game, they do actually get some sort of a premium on the market. People that actually play the card game are much more willing to buy those cards, like Pulse Emitter, Suspension Enhancers, Magnetic Bounce. Lots of those really overpowered cards you typically get more for. But as far as this goes, I did make it so that everyone with the link can view this document, and hopefully you'll all be able to copy and paste it into your own Google Sheets or an Excel document, whatever you guys want. But basically, the way this works to value your collection, I made a quantity column. So you enter the quantity of the card that you have, and then it'll then give you the total value of so like 2 hollow backs at $1 each. It's $2 for the hollow backs. So you got 4 power bombs, $80. You got a hyper sinker that's $250. But you go all the way down to the bottom. And then at the bottom, it has the overall price of your collection. So this way, you could download this sheet and sort of keep track of your collection as you collect the cards and sort of see the total value of what you have. So let's just add one of all of these right here, and you can see the total collection value keeps going up. And that's just simple Excel sum formulas that I use there. Most of you probably know how to do that, but if you don't, I went ahead and included it for you so you can sort of keep track of how much your collection is worth. Go ahead and clear it out. But hopefully that feature is pretty useful for you guys. And if you needed to copy it, you can just click this top square right here. It highlights the whole page, and then you can paste it into your own document if you need to. And I think I set it up to where nobody can go in and change the prices. I'll have to keep an eye on it because I don't use Google Sheets all that much. I want to make sure nobody comes in here and changes all the prices that I put in here. But this is the Acceleracers TCG price guide. Hopefully you guys enjoy this, and hopefully it gives you guys some insight into the value of these cards.
So that is all I have for today, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed checking out this price guide, and hopefully it is useful for you guys. Hopefully you guys are able to use it. Definitely let me know down in the comments if you are able to access it through Google Docs, or is it Google Sheets? I think it is. But let me know if you're able to, download it to Excel, so on and so forth, because I definitely want it to be usable for you guys. And it had a lot of settings on restricting people from editing or copying. And I want to make sure I got all the settings right so you guys can use it to sort of value your collections. Of course, if there's any issues that you guys have with some of the prices of the cards, please feel free to let me know down in the comments and we can discuss. Like I said, I'm not claiming to be the expert on these cards or anything like that. I just have a lot of experience opening these packs, and those are the prices that I felt the cards were worth. And I did put some time into it. So hopefully you guys enjoy, and hopefully it's a pretty useful tool for you guys. And like I said, I am going to try and get a carded Acceleracers price guide and a loose mint Acceleracers price guide, so on and so forth. But for all intents and purposes, that's all we have for today, guys. So I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, guys.